What up, Apple Sheep? It's your king. It's the King Sheep Tailosive Tech. We're back. We're starting now. Welcome for everyone coming in the chat. Welcome Max. Welcome Benny. Welcome XPL. Patback. Salman. Max Daniel. Cool Hero. Jason J. Abe. Reginald. Thanos. Wow, Thanos is in the chat from Avengers. My goodness. Okay. We got Lava Cookie. Oh my goodness, look at all the people coming in. How's everyone doing? I'm excited to live stream with you today because this is my video of the day. So, you will be getting an edited video tomorrow, but for today, this is what you get. How's everyone doing? Everyone in the chat, everyone tuning in. We've got, hopefully, an exciting stream ahead of us because here I do not exclude the topic of the iPhone 8. So any of your comments and questions, we can still talk about them here. Keep in mind that if you absolutely want your question answered, Super Chat is the best way to do that. It stands out. I can see it. It's a lot easier for me that way. And it also supports me because I've obviously got about, $8 grand of Apple devices to spend this winter. And that's not counting other things people want me to review like the Pixel 2, the Note 8. That's what you're supporting. This is not going into my pocket. But you guys should still get some compensation for it. So there are going to be some incentives today that are just humiliating for me, but I gotta do something for you. But anyway, what do we got? Just got the notification. What do you think about the iPhone SE 2? If we don't get one this year, do you think we will get it next year? So I've talked about the SE several times. There was recent rumors, but because there was some more updates on the SE in terms of rumors, but I didn't talk about it because I feel like I just made a video about why it won't be coming back, and now that rumors are saying it is. I don't think it's actually a redesign. I don't think the SE will be granted like a, an SE2 worthy title. It's just going to get a minor spec bump. But the rumors said that in March of 2018, so long after the iPhone edition comes out, and by the time everyone already has one, they're just in the manufacturing process for the iPhone SE, going to start replacing the chip it has now. I can't remember what it is. I think it's the A9 or something. They're going to put a A10 chip in it. So it'll be faster and it'll last longer. But that's about it. So it probably won't get like a new title or a new name. It'll still be called the iPhone SE, but it'll just be known as the faster one because it's newer. So that's what's happening. I remember when these chats weren't as crowded. Yeah, me too. There used to be like 30 people who would watch every live stream, and now obviously that's crazy. Do you think the Apple TV 4 will get a price drop coming soon? Oh, that's a good question, Marcus. It should. However, it still would be like Apple to just create like a newer, more expensive option and not drop the price of the Apple TV 4. But if I was in charge, it would definitely. I'd lower it to like, what is it now? $150 for the cheap one? I'd lower it to under $100. I'd say like the Apple TV 4 should be $90, and the 4K one I'm sure is going to be $200 because Apple's price is higher. And it'll have the A10 Fusion chip in it. It'll have, a better overall component, they'll call it. They'll probably just call it the 4K Apple TV. That's the only difference. You're like a bad everything Apple Pro. That's true. Well, I have been considered not current to a lot of people just because everyone's been asking, why don't you talk about every single leak that comes out about the iPhone 8 just like everybody else? Well, it's because I thought I would do something considerate, okay? I thought I'd be polite because I realized that every single YouTuber out there is reporting on every single leak for the iPhone. No matter what, they report on it. Even if it comes out 3 days after they already made a leak video, they want to talk about it again. So I thought, you know what would be hard? You know what would be challenging? Is if I tried to talk about anything but that. Like, perhaps, maybe the tech world is getting bored about talking about the same exact thing every single day. Every time you open Twitter, all we get is more iPhone leaks. All we get is more iPhone rumors saying the same exact thing. Like, everyone got excited about the HomePod firmware update, but it didn't really tell us anything we didn't know. It showed us the shape, but we already knew it was going to look like that, so it just kind of confirmed those theories. Oh, here's the resolution. It's a little bit better. Great. I didn't think that the resolution would be better based on all these rumors. The 4K at 60 thing is still a little bit hard to believe, to be honest, but I hope it happens, but again, we're never going to have anything set in stone for sure happening until it's actually unveiled. So that's why I've been kind of challenging myself to say, let's talk about other things, because I understand that you guys watch a lot more than just me. You watch a lot more tech channels than just my channel, and you're hearing about the iPhone 8 on every other channel you watch, so perhaps when you come to Tailosive Tech, you get something else. It's a little refreshing. That's what I was going for. Okay. I am not sponsored by Apple. I'm the opposite. They actually put a copyright claim on one of my videos, so I actually didn't make money, which sucks. I'm super disappointed that the iPhone 8 is going to be $1,000. I've been following the rumors, waiting to get rid of my 5C. Well, they're doing that for several reasons. First of all, they're going kind of all out on a smartphone, so already you're getting like all these things in one package that's going to set you back a lot of money because there's a lot of things. It's probably not that cheap to make for them either. And on top of that, they also want to raise demand for the iPhone 7s because I'm sure that I know they think they know what they're doing, and they think if they raise the price really high on the iPhone edition, then more people would be interested in the 7s. I don't think that'll work, though. I still think everyone will willingly pay far over $1,000 just to have the latest, greatest one with the edge-to-edge display. And the 7s is still not going to sell as well, even though it is drastically cheaper. I'm just predicting that because that's what happened when they did the 5S and the 5C. That was like Apple's first time saying, what if we made like the good iPhone, the one with all the spec upgrades, but then on the side, we also decide to have a cheaper one that's half the price. And the 5C, I thought, was going to sell like crazy because it was half the price of that year's flagship. But then what happened? For those of you who don't know, what happened was there were 3 iPhone 5S's sold for every one 5C, and they ended up having tons of... Oh, I don't have it here. It's in its box over there. And what turned out to happen was they had tons of iPhone 5Cs that didn't end up being sold, and they had to completely rearrange Foxconn's manufacturing process because they figured that the cheaper iPhone would sell better because obviously it's more affordable. But in reality, the 5S is the one everyone wanted, the one everyone paid for, and that one sold far better. So I'm anticipating a similar thing. Now, of course, with the iPhone 7, it's the first time the Plus model iPhone is selling better than the regular size. So the 7 Plus is more popular than the regular 7. And it costs more money, but people don't care. They want the better camera, they want the better features, the better display. So everyone's still going that route. That's why I'm anticipating that even if the price for the edition is much, much higher than the 7S, that's not going to stop the demand for it for going up. I know there's some of you in the chat who still would say, no, I'd never pay over $1,000 for a smartphone. You're not the majority, okay? Most people who are Apple sheep who buy the latest, greatest iPhone, they're not on YouTube asking which phone they should buy. They know what phone they're going to buy. They're just going to buy it no matter what. Okay. Have you heard about the iPhone flip phone? No, I haven't because that won't exist. Okay, do you think the new iPhone will follow the new iPad Pro storage sizes or stay the same? I'm anticipating that the edition will only come in 2 storage sizes because manufacturing it has been so difficult. So they won't have the luxury of letting you choose between 32, 128, and 256. It'll probably be 32 and 256. Or if they do go all out, the other option could be 64 and 256. I think that'd be a bit more smarter, given like the Galaxy S8 standard storage configuration is 64 gigs. So I think that would be more natural, that the edition would have like a base storage that is plenty for most people, especially if you're going to be filming at 4K at 60. That's crazy. And as well as the option to go all out and have 512 gigabytes, because if you're filming things at 4K at 60 frames a second, it's likely you are going to fill that up for real. And oh my god, we've got 300 people. Yeah, it is a lot. 512 gigabytes is a lot, and that's fine. I wish they could have every option. I wish you could just have a slider in the checkout that just says, I want these many gigs, but they have to assemble lots of them in bulk, and apparently the assembly process is very difficult, so that's why we're not going to get as many options, as many colors. But hey, while there's 300 people here, let me give you the super chat incentives now, because we used to do these in the past, but then I kind of stopped doing them because they make me uncomfortable, but I don't care anymore. If we reach a donation goal today, and I know we can reach this one because we've done it multiple times in the past, If we can reach a donation goal today of $125, which is pretty standard, that's typically what we get in a live stream, and you guys will have to be doing the math in the chat. This is not a single donation. This is all of you together. If we reach 125, I will pour this on my head, and I think you know where this is going. If we reach 175, which would be a little bit more than usual. We've done more, but that's a bit over the top. And now we've got 36,000 people subscribed. I figure I can set the bar a little higher. I'll pour this full thing in it, and this is loaded, by the way. This has got stuff in it. 175, I'll pour this on my head, and yeah, I can do all three if we keep going. And if we reach the maximum, which I really hope does not happen, because I don't want to have to deal with this, but I figure I want you guys to shoot for the stars. If we reach 225, I got a Rogue One popcorn bucket filled with water. I don't know how to prove to you. It's full, okay, but it's heavy. There's a lot of stuff in here. I'll pour that whole thing on my head. I got towels on the floor and everything. All right. Okay. Not on your Mac. No, I will not spill it on the Mac. Don't worry. Yes, it's just water. I'm not that crazy. 1,000 pour bleach on your head. Okay, got it. Okay. I don't believe those Pixel 2 leaks. Yeah, you've been seeing those Pixel leaks on YouTube as well, or on Twitter. Venya Gaskin was leaking them, and I've been laughing my head off every time I see them. That's what the Pixel fandom gets to look forward to. Every time they turn on the news, like the iPhone people are like, 4K at 60 on the front and rear. That sounds nice. Ooh, wireless charging is coming. Ooh, an OLED display. Ooh, a change in how the software is written so that we can put our battery and our internet up on the top so our OS looks more clean. And then the Pixel people, they get to look forward to like, ooh, they put a speaker on the chin. It looks like a phone that came out 5 years ago. It looks, honestly, the Nexus 6P looks better than the Pixel 2 right now. And that's not even out. And I know people don't believe it, but look, we knew what the original Google Pixel looked like before it came out. You may not realize that, but the leaks were already out. We already knew what the name was, and we already knew it would come in 2 sizes. And I think the actual announcement image of the Google Pixel was the exact same image Pixel used during their keynote in October. I remember them being like, this is the image that's part of the keynote, like happening a week before it came out. And they literally used that same exact stock photo with the same wallpaper, the same colors. And I just remember seeing all the Pixel leaks because wasn't MKBHD talking about how like the glass on the back will allow for wireless charging? And I was like, that makes sense. They want the aluminum feel so that when you're regularly holding the phone, it feels aluminum, but you also get that option of wireless charging because the top sheet is glass. And then it turned out, no, it was just a sheet of glass for no reason. There was no actual point in having it, which I thought was great. So I think it's hilarious. I can't wait for it to come out. Close your fly. It's not open. You can't even see that. My fly is fine. It's not... I'm fine, guys. Look. Stop staring down there anyway. There's a MacBook there. I don't want to believe the Pixel 2 leaks. I do. I think it's hilarious. It's closed. My God. What's wrong with you people? It is definitely closed. What was the copyright claim for? Oh, it was for, what was it? We were talking about, ironically, I was talking about how well Apple was doing. I was analyzing the quarter 3 reports about how they made so much money. And then my editor, I did not edit this video, but I would have made the same mistake. My editor used footage from the iOS 11 like demo keynote in that video showing just, you know, the Apple ecosystem. And apparently, even though he credited them, he wrote text on the side. There's a source from Apple. Apple took the copyright rights to that video. So I didn't make any money on that. It was totally just for publicity reasons. That's it. Should I buy AirPods? Oh, yeah. You should definitely buy them, but also the cool announcement is that their delivery date is finally down from 6 weeks. They're down to 4 weeks now. So a lot of people who are saying that they take so long to get to you because half of the AirPods are going in the boxes of iPhone editions, that doesn't really hold up now because their delivery times are lower, and they're definitely not done making iPhone editions. If anything, this is when they'd be at full throttle, a month before it comes out, is when they'd be making them as fast as possible. So this doesn't really support that claim. That's why I don't think AirPods will be included in the purchase, even though I think they should be. Maybe they'd give you a discount. And I know 4 weeks still sounds like a long time, but in the terms of AirPods, that's the first time we've seen any kind of reduction. Like, it reached the delivery date of 6 weeks about probably 12 hours after they were announced. And they have stayed at 6 weeks for the past 8 months. So it took 8 months for them to finally go down from 6 weeks to 4 weeks. So it's like the most heavily demanded product they've ever had, I think. I hope the iPhone edition isn't like that. Imagine if when like it first goes out, people buy it as fast as they can, and then delivery date for the edition is 6 weeks, and it stays like that up until the next iPhone comes out. That would suck. And I think that would actually hurt their sales. So maybe the reason it's down to 4 weeks is Apple found like a more efficient way of manufacturing them that's easier or something like that. There's food in your beard? No, there isn't, because I have not eaten anything today, so that's not possible. Explain the lifespan of LED screen compared to LCD screen. I do not know that, so I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to pretend I know to. But I know LEDs likely look better. That's the main reason we use them so much more often. Use the chat is crazy. 380 people. Goodness. Apple TV, talk about it. Yeah, I know. I did. There's a 4K one coming out. That's all we got. And it might have HDR. That's all we know about it. Can you make a 7S video? The reason, I know people want me to talk about the iPhones, but the reason I haven't made a video just about the 7S is there's so little to say about it. Okay, it'll have a glass back. It'll probably have the A11 chip, probably a little bit improved battery life, but for the most part, it's going to look like the iPhone 7 already. And it'll support wireless charging. There you go. I mean, I like making videos that are kind of controversial topics, like the round Apple Watch one. That's something that's hard to defend because people want a round smartwatch. They think it looks more natural, and I'm trying to explain to them why when designing a watch interface on a round screen, it's actually far more limiting. Even if the screen is larger, you can still only look at things in that center column. Everything else has to be minimized or shrunk down compared to just the simple rectangle in which everything can be displayed from side to side. It's just like pieces of paper, just like smartphones. That's why Apple went with a square. I think that's a bit more interesting of a topic. It's a bit more controversial. You can dive into that a little easier. So that's why I haven't really gone into that 7S argument, is because it's going to look exactly the same. Especially like the black version of the 7S won't look drastically different from the jet black iPhone 7 at all. They'll look almost identical. iPhone 8 Plus? There's only going to be one size for the edition. Okay, next year we're going to get 2 iPhones. Technically 3 if you count the new SE. But technically, a year from September, we'll get 2 iPhones that look like the iPhone edition, except they'll be in 2 sizes. One will be a 5.2-inch display, one will be a 6.4-inch display, and they'll likely be called 8 and 8 Plus. And this year, we're going to get 7S, 7S Plus, and Edition. That's my prediction. Could be wrong. They like to surprise people with the naming. But, and I've talked all about all the different names, potentially. So that they like to pull the rug out from under us at the last second. Ooh, that's a real smoggy one, Apple. Why did they want to film the bridge when it's all foggy like that? I can't see anything. Whatever. I wonder if I'm going to have to start downloading these screensavers in 4K if we get a 4K Apple TV. Probably, huh? Have you seen the $150 Apple Watch band by Coach? I have not. Typically, if I'm buying a third-party watch band, which is very rare because usually they're not as good. In fact, mostly all the time they're not as good as the Apple certified ones. I want to be buying a third-party watch band that's cheaper because that's the only incentive to buy one, is that, well, it's not as good as an Apple band, but it's like a fraction of the price. Like, I have a couple sport bands that were sent to me from a fan named Ryan. Thank you, by the way, for watching this, Ryan Gibbons. Thank you for sending me those from bandspop.com. I talk about that in tomorrow's video. They're very pretty good premium sport bands, but they're just a little bit smaller. So if you have large wrists, they don't fit as well. But for the most part, they fit real well, and they're like $15. And the premium feeling compared to an Apple Sport Band, they're a little bit lacking, but for the most part, pretty on par. And the benefit is they're a lot cheaper. But if we're talking $150 for a watch band, I'm really not interested. I have not paid $150 for any watch band, even if it is from Apple. I have a Milanese Loop, but that was also sent to me by a fan named Daniel Holloway. Thank you, if you're watching this, Daniel, for sending that to me. D-Tech, is the 4K 60 FPS iPhone 8 camera true? Yes, because I work at Apple and I know everything about it. No, no one knows if it's true. All we have now are theories and rumors. You can't ask anyone, is it true? Because they don't know. You should do a video on Affinity Photo for the I have it and I love it. I've heard about it. Everything photo-wise I think works great on the new iPad Pro. It's that A10X processor is razor fast. I've exported lots of videos on it, and they export faster than my MacBook, but I guess it's because I'm exporting, iPhone footage, and it's not with Final Cut. There's less quality options, but still, really, really quick. And with photo editing, because I make all my thumbnails with Over, it also does a great job. Everything is instant. There's no loading bars. So I'm sure it's great as well. Notice me before you become famous? Before. Sorry. Okay, should I buy the Series 2 Apple Watch now, or should I wait until the Series 3 comes out and hope for a price reduction? Don't buy an Apple Watch now. I know my editor over on Tailosive Talks bought one now, but he agreed that he was going to sell that when the Series 3 came out if it was worth it, and if not, he was just going to use that one anyway. But no one should be buying an Apple Watch right now, and no one should be buying an iPhone right now, because we're a month away from them getting refreshed. And if you want to get the new ones when they come out, you're going to have to either sell your old one, and you're going to lose money on that, or you're getting ripped off. You can keep the one you have now and decide that one wasn't worth it, but the Series 2 might get a price reduction. So just wait. You don't have to get the Series 3, but at least wait to find out how good it is to see if you really want it, and if you don't want it, maybe the Series 2 will be cheaper. Just wait. Buy an iPod, you say? No, do not buy any iPods, please. Do not buy iPods. Just convince Apple we don't want those anymore. Get them discontinued. You know what'd be funny? What if instead of the next excuse me. What if instead of the next iPhone coming out, turns out it was just the next generation iPod Touch all along. Like we get the 7S and 7S Plus, and then the 4K at 60, the wireless charging, the 5.8-inch OLED display. Actually, it's just the new iPod Touch. Boy, that would be hilarious. I know it won't happen. I just thought it would be funny. iPod Nano with an A10X chip so you can play music really fast. Yes. We need expandable storage more than ever. Bigger, faster, cheaper micro SD cards, which are amazing for 4K, but Apple for more than 10 years is saying that we don't need them. Well, it's true, but it's usually because iPhones have some of the highest storage configurations of any smartphone. Like, the S8 has expandable storage, but you can only order it with 64 gigs internally. And don't act like micro SD cards are just as fast as the built-in storage, because they're not. When you build in expandable storage, they are not as fast or not as accessible as the built-in ones. It doesn't load as fast, and I think that's more the reason Apple's against it, but it's more the reason they include 256 gigabytes, which is not, I don't think when the iPhone 7 came out at least, that was an option for anyone on any other smartphone. You could not order 256 internally. If you wanted more than that, you had to buy a micro SD card and put it in. But again, that's not as fast. It's not as fluid when you're expanding your own storage manually. Plus, the OS has to remember that that can be removed. Plus, 256 gigabyte micro SD cards are not cheap either. I'd rather just... I know you probably not spend as much money as buying an iPhone 7 with it, but I'd rather have it internally than just have a tack on. And I don't think they're going to add it. So don't count on that. But Alex Scarlock is our first super chat today. He says, own MacBook Pro 2016 and Air 2. Should I upgrade to iPad Pro? Air 2 is still pretty new. I get you might want Apple Pencil support. You might want the better camera. But you get the multitasking features still. So I guess that's really more of a luxury thing. If you can afford an iPad Air 2 with whatever your income is for 1 month, sure, go ahead and get an iPad Pro. Like, if you can afford, sorry, not the Air 2. If you can afford an iPad Pro within 1 month of your earnings, that doesn't set you back that far, then sure, you can treat yourself. But if you have an iPhone 6, I'd say save for a new iPhone, because those are about to be refreshed, or I'd rather you spend your money on like an Apple Watch. That's going to make a big difference in your life. But the iPad Pro is kind of a, especially if you already have an Air 2, the iPad Pro is kind of like a luxury extra product. So sure, if you have a good amount. How much do I have to super chat to get you to watch a few of my videos and give some feedback by commenting on a video? Okay, T Sutton. I'd say $20. It wouldn't cost much. T Sutton, I'll write that down if you donate. Should I buy the MacBook Air? No! Do not buy the MacBook Air. If you are going to buy one, buy it used. Do not buy it directly from Apple. You can get really good MacBook Airs on like a Facebook yard sale for like $400. Don't buy it from Apple. It's crazy. How do you donate? Oh, okay. So if you don't know, to donate in the super chat and absolutely have your question answered, you can't, if you're on iOS, you can't use the YouTube app because Apple is stupid. You have to just find the live stream on Safari. So you go to Safari on the browser on your app and find the live stream. There, you can donate on the super chat. I've done it. If you're on a desktop, super chat is easily built in. And if you're on Android, the YouTube mobile app has super chat built in. That's just the way Apple works. So you have to use a browser to donate in super chat, basically, whether it be a desktop or the browser on your smartphone. Okay. How dare you call Apple stupid? No, they are. They are stupid. Look, I made a video explaining how well they were doing. I made a video talking about why their Q3 earnings are great, why their stock price is so high, and it's proof that they're doing something well. So I just made a video praising them, saying how well they're doing, and they put a copyright claim on it, saying that's our content. You cannot make money off that. We're gonna make all the money off of your tiny YouTube channel. So they made like $12 because I told them that they were doing a good job. That's messed up. But that's not just Apple. Keep in mind, any company would have done that. That's just sadly how YouTube works. Do you need to buy PaySafe to donate? No, you just need Safari or Chrome. Just use a browser. That's all I'm saying. Are you going to buy the Amazon Alexa or Google Home? Sorry if I set some of your devices up. Maybe. I've been looking at prices for them, and I know that I don't know if the Google Home is worth reviewing just because no one's buying it. Sales for it have been pretty meh. Like, no one really cares. Apple Sheep Tech says, "You are the king." Thank you very much. That's not a question, but thank you. I appreciate that. Keep in mind, for those of you just joining, we're getting up past 400 people watching the live stream. Wow. Here's the goal we're doing today. I'll remind everyone. If we reach $125 collectively in donations, I'm going to pour this Apple mug certified of water on my head. If we reach 175, which is a bit more than average, but we've done it before, I will pour this entire bottle of water on my head. And if we get crazy and donate 225, I will dunk the whole bucket of Rogue One water. This is full on my head. I've got towels on the floor, ready to be drenched. So that's your incentive today. Okay. Should I buy Apple Watch Series 1 now? What did I just say? No one buy Apple Watch or iPhones right now. Wait. Please just wait till September. God. Why do you think the Pixel 2 still has massive bezels instead of being competitive and shrinking their bezels? That is a good question. That's what's so mind-boggling about the Pixel team is like, what were you thinking? I don't understand why they made the Pixel the way it was last year. A lot of people, it looks just like an iPhone. If you put the Touch ID on the chin, it would have looked identical. But think about it. Like, of all the different ways to make a smartphone unique, you could copy Samsung. No one does that. You could copy LG. They wouldn't care. But it proves that Pixel is so absolutely strict on making sure that they replicate what the iPhone looks like that that's all they're going to do is make something that looks like an iPhone, because that's their only demographic, is stealing users from Apple. It's not about treating the Android user base. If they were listening to their fans and not trying to steal customers from Apple, they would have kept the headphone jack. I don't think they should, but they would have kept it because their fans like that. They would have added external storage because again, I don't need that. But Android users like to have options. You know, the Galaxy S8 has expandable storage. That's their choice. If they wanted to be straight from Android, wouldn't they have more options like the wireless charging? Can no one really match Samsung on that? I know Apple hasn't, but people choose iPhones for different reasons than features. They go for software. And now we're getting wireless charging on the next iPhone. So pretty soon that's going to be matched. And the fact that the Pixel 2, the glass on the back is an even smaller portion means that wireless charging, if it is going to happen, it's less and less likely because it's only going to be chargeable from that top piece, which means it's going to have an entire base charging pad. And usually, based on the leaks Apple's making and the way Samsung's been doing wireless charging for years, you don't charge the entire back of the device. You have a pad that's a little circle that the phone rests on. And the way the glass is on the back of the Pixel 2, it looks like it's more being used like the Nexus 6P used the glass. It's just for cellular purposes. It's not for wireless charging. Because they'd have to lay the whole thing flat. Maybe if the glass was on the bottom of the device, you could put it in a little resting dock, but that's not the case. So I don't think they're going to want you to charge your Pixel upside down. So I don't think wireless charging's coming on the next Pixel. And keep in mind, the next Pixel comes out after the iPhone edition. So the only reason the ugly, giant chin and forehead with the stereo speakers Pixel could make any sort of sense is if it's a budget smartphone. Like I said in my video, if that thing is a dime over $400, then it's not worth it. Just by looking at it, it looks hideous. Oh, and hey, Durka Durka. Day's going well. Thank you for asking. He is, for those who don't know, Durka Durka is the highest running donator of the channel, by far. Can I donate a negative amount? No, I don't think you can, but I'm sorry if you want that. What is your dream Tesla? Probably a Model X. I'd like a Model X. If money was not an option, it'd be cool. What would I like in it? I like the white seats on the interior. I would like the longest range possible. I'd like it in red. Red's my favorite color. Oh, White Boy Gaming donated. Says, should Apple make an iPod for a camera like Red? An iPod for a camera? What do you mean? Make an iPod for a camera. Oh, like Red Digital. Is that what you're saying? I thought you were saying Product Red. But still, not an iPod. That's a music playing device. Do you mean an iPhone? Should people make an iPhone for a camera? First of all, no, they shouldn't. I do not own a Tesla. No, I'm. However, if every single one of my subscribers donated $1, then I could afford a Tesla. But that's not going to happen. I don't think Red was smart. I think Red knew exactly what they were doing when they designed it. They were like, this will get a lot of attention in the media, but no one's going to buy it. The fact that, first of all, I don't like the way they marketed it. You shouldn't advertise the back of a smartphone, list some features, and then ask for money. That's what they did. They didn't even show what it looked like. They just took a photo of the back, and they were like, this is what the back of our phone looks like. And that already didn't look very good. All the lines and all the warped on it, all the industrial look. I guess some people like that, but I just thought, compared to every other smartphone, that looks weird. That looks like a piece of equipment. It does not look like a smartphone, but I think that was the goal. Thank you for your donation, JB Pierce. No question, but thank you for your donation. And then they didn't show what the front of it was, and they just listed those revolutionary holographic features. They didn't tell us what they were. They just said revolutionary holographic features. That was it. And then asked for, okay, $1,200 for this model, $1,700 for this model. They already started taking orders. And they're like, when are they going to get here? Maybe a year. That's it. That seems so greedy to me. It's like, we're working on this one thing, and it might be good, but we're not going to show you. We're not even going to show you the screen. You know, it's not enough that they're not going to tell you what the holographic technology is. They showed it to MKBHD, who filmed his reaction, and he didn't look terribly interested. He was like, wow. So that's our initial reaction, and that's the big selling point to it. And then, okay, give us all your money. MKBHD, you can have 3 prototypes. Film about it. They knew what they were doing. They knew exactly what they were doing. Okay, Tobias Olason. So no, by the way, to answer your question, white boy, they should not make an iPod for gaming. God, no. Hey, you should read Daring Fireball and listen to his podcast. Okay, Daring Fireball. I'm going to write that down. Remember that. Okay, he's got a podcast. Thank you. Brendan Thompson, thank you for your donation. No question, but thank you very much. Apple Sheep Tech says, can you subscribe to my channel? Blink, don't have any videos yet. Okay, I'm going to open that up in a different tab right now. There we go. Yes, I will check that out after. But before you expect people to subscribe, please make some content. Don't advertise before you have it. Don't be Red Digital. Don't advertise before you have a product. Okay, Robert says, please adjust your camera angle so I don't have to look at your knees and other stuff all the time. Other than that, keep up the good work. Okay, to keep you in mind, I'm filming from my iPhone, so I could get closer, but keep in mind I'm filming with the rear-facing camera. So, let me see what I can do. We reached 182. That's not $182. You're not translating like to American dollars. Those are like equivalent to $5 US. We did not reach 182. That's not US dollars. That's euro, and then that's Norwegian, and that's 20 euro. We're not past the 100. How to donate? Use Safari. How's that look? Is that too close? I can't see the back, so that's a little bit better. There, you can't see my knees. There you go. I hope that fixed the problem. I'm sorry my knees are so disgusting and offensive to you. Euro is more than $1? Okay. It's still 20. It's not that drastic. Looks good. Good. I'm glad you like it. Hackintosh options. I do not recommend an Hackintosh, and that's not because I've never tried it. I definitely have tried it. Yes, that's Swedish money. That's not equivalent to $100. $500. Boom, pour water on your head. No. I do not own a gaming console, no. You could technically count an Apple TV as a console, but I wouldn't. It's not really that. But thank you, Robert, for your donation. Apple camera, they're just going to keep telling people to film with their iPhone. They're just making the camera, especially if it turns out that 4K at 60 frames a second is an option. Then they don't need to make a separate camera. They're just going to make better and better smartphones and tell you to film with those. They're not going to make a separate camera. I want them to, but they're not going to. I know you made a video, but quick thoughts. First of all, Austin LNX donated $5. Thank you. Says, love your videos. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, and quick thoughts on the Nintendo Switch. I am not a Nintendo guy. I grew up without gaming consoles, so I do not have any loyalty to Nintendo, and I feel like that's why I'm not interested in the Switch, is because I'm not really interested in gaming consoles. Period. I think they're too kind of a one feature device, and I think the Switch is a jack of all trades and a master of none. You're compensating for the fact that it can do two things. You know, you can plug it into your TV or take it with you, and as a result, have something that's bad at doing both. It's really not on par with the other gaming consoles that plug into your TV, and in terms of something you can take with you, it's not a premium gaming device. But keep in mind, I'm not a gamer, so I don't play video games that much. So a device that's dedicated to just playing games, I'm not crazy into that. T. Sutton donated 12 pounds. I think this is around $20. So yes, I'm going to open your channel in a different tab. Let's see if I can do that. There we go. It's open. I'm going to check that out after the stream. And you said, hey Drew, think this is around $20 US. Would love it for you to check out my video later, as well as maybe a couple of others, and give some feedback on how I can grow and improve. Okay, I'm definitely going to do that, and thank you for your donation. Okay, what are we at now? And keep the translating up. Like at the beginning when Apple Sheep donated Swedish money, that's not equivalent to 50 Swedish. That's 50 Swedish dollars is not equivalent to 50 US dollars. That was 14 US dollars, not 20. Well, he donated. It's more like 15. Hey Tailosive, what do you think about dual booting a Mac into Windows? I've tried it and it's way better for gaming. It can be better. I have Windows 10 on my MacBook. I have Boot Camp. But, it's kind of messy because some of the drivers are messed up and there's a lot of unexpected problems you can run into fairly simply. And Am I the secret son of Boris Becker? Yes. It's not a secret anymore. I just told everyone. There we go. Sorry, one of my windows closed because I opened up your channel. We got too many people watching. 440 people. This is crazy. 50, yeah, see, 50 is, KR is about $5. That sounds about right. Is Apple better than Samsung? Yes, they are, because no one can parallel the Apple ecosystem. Someone should have a drinking game where they take a shot every time I say the Apple ecosystem. Joke about dying of alcohol poisoning. Enter here. Windows thoughts. Okay, I've even met people that work for Microsoft. If I could tell them one thing to change about Windows, is the updates. Windows 10 would be a fairly decent operating system if they just didn't shove updates down your throat every second. Every time you try to restart your computer, every time you try to shut down your computer, you get bombarded with 80 billion updates that slow everything down. And sometimes if you cancel them and say, no, I don't want to update, they'll start to forcefully install them. They're saying, we're going to restart your computer in 15 minutes, whether you like it or not. They'll gray out the option to hit cancel. That is by far the worst thing about Windows 10. And if there was one thing I could change, that would be it. And it would probably be a fairly decent operating system if it just weren't for the constant updates. That's by far the biggest problem. Thank you for your donation, Nini Justinish. No comment, but thank you very much. And again, keep in mind the colors, guys. The color is a better indicator of how much the money is worth. And see, when it's blue, like his was, that's more of like equivalent to $1 US to two US dollars. If it's green, like Apple Sheep Text was, that's more close to 5. If it's 10, it's yellow. If it's 20, it's orange. If it's red, it's like 100. If it's purple, it's like... Oh... Durka, why did you do that? Why did you blow everyone out of the water? How's your day going, Drew? I already asked, but I wasn't sure if you saw it. I have to dump everything on my head now. My God. Holy crap. Okay. Alright. Thank you. My day's going a lot better now. I've never had that happen before, so thank you guys for making that happen. Let's not forget the other donors. Obi says, if I agree with everything you say, does that make me an Apple Sheep? Pretty much. And Brandon Thompson, another $5. Thank you. Okay, so we beat all our goals today. This is the most amount of money because of Durka we've ever made from a live stream. So I have to dump everything on my head. Alright. I agreed to this. I really thought... You know how you guys were slow at the beginning? There was like no donations. I thought we weren't going to get there. I thought, wow, this is awkward. I got all these cups of water for nothing. Okay, it's a fake donation. No, it isn't. That's legit. And you can't have a refund. I hope he meant to send that. That is a lot of money. You just paid for the Apple Watch Series 3 basically. Why does Apple ignore gaming? I don't know, because they're doing fine with the sales there right now. I'm gonna pour all the water on my head. Don't worry. I'm trying to keep people interested with the tech topic as well. But before this live stream ends, I'm going to pour this on my head, the mug. I'm going to pour the bottle on my head back here, and I'm also going to pour. Oh my God, this whole bucket. Yeah, it's not fake. Durka does this every live stream. Yes, but he's never donated $500. My God. Please talk about reviewing a Tesla. Hey, if the donations keep up, maybe we can get there. He just paid for like 1/70th of a Tesla. JB Pierce. God, you guys are still donating. Thank you. It says, be blessed, man, and have a good day. Take a vacation also. I wish I could. My family went up to visit my older sister, who is pregnant right now and about to have a baby in a couple months. She's going to have it like right after the iPhone comes out, so around October. That's and just so you know, that's not how I like judge when people when events are happening, is before or after the iPhone comes out. But anyway, my family all went up to visit her, but because I do not make money on this channel unless I am making content for this channel, I couldn't go because I had to work. So I just stayed home while everyone went up to Spokane and visited, and I just stayed here and made content for you guys. I hope you find them interesting because a lot of work does go into them, and that's including the Talks channel, the main channel, the comedy sketches, all that. Project Photon, Worked on Project Photon yesterday, finished day 3 of filming that. Top secret project. Please subscribe to the main channel if you want to see it when it comes out. There's comedy sketches over there. It's just Tailosive with a black T. You guys should subscribe to that. And also Tailosive Talks if you want to see me talk about things that are not tech related. There's Hello World, there's vlogs over there. You can see my personal life, meet my girlfriend, all over there on Tailosive Talks. Friend of mine is also working in the Tailosive network named Dan the Movie Man, over on Tailosive Movie Reviews. You guys are like almost his entire subscriber base. He only has like 600 subscribers, and we got like 430 people watching. So like, we could get him to 1,000 if you all subscribe. But anyway, thank you for your donations. How old are you? I am 19 years old. I've been so excited for Talks to get to 2,000. Me too. The Talks channel has been growing like crazy. I think we saw a video on there earlier that was posted in April, and it had 340 subscribers, and now we're at 1,800. So it's growing like crazy, and I thank you for that, because my goal is maybe if the Talks channel continues to grow, we could get to a point where I could go on vacation, I could visit places, and vlog it, and those vlogs could support me and keep me around. Yes, we're going to dump the water. It's officially happening, but I want to have the tech conversations while everyone's still watching. That way people don't tune into the live stream and then go, oh, this guy's just pouring water on himself, and then be like, yeah. I'm going to do it. Don't worry, it's going to happen. What's your social security number? Okay, it's 5284967. Yes, I keep my social security watch on my social security number on my watch. Please answer. Is there any chance you'll get anything more than the base model iMac Pro, like a 2 terabyte SSD? No. No chance. If I can afford the iMac Pro, I can only afford the cheapest possible option. I'm not going to go any higher. Not going to go any bigger than that. Thank you for your donation, Ari Abraham. $14. Just send me a thumbs up. Thank you very much. Austin Cole says, any chance the iPhone 8 comes with a pair of AirPods? Maybe a downgraded version with less touch features so that they only play music? Well, that would kind of suck. I don't want them to make cheaper AirPods. I want AirPods to be the way they are, but just have more color options. And again, I want them to be included, but I honestly don't think it'll happen. I think that's too much money. The iPhone takes too much to assemble already, and by the time they're done, they're just going to include Lightning headphones. It's not going to be... I'd be very surprised. I'd be grateful if they did include it, but I still don't think it's going to happen. And AirPods, yes, are slightly more sweat-proof than EarPods. They have some sealant in them, the same kind of rubber sealant that the iPhone 7 has that makes it a bit more waterproof. They put in AirPods because they know they're more expensive. I have videos on my channel, but I need to help it grow. Please, can you check it out? Asks Joshua Nilsson. Okay, I just shouted you out. Hopefully that helps. Why is the Minecraft poster back up? Well, because no one said I had to rip it in half. They told me to take it down, so I did. How crazy donation-wise are you guys feeling? If you donate, I don't know, someone donates $50 in one donation, then I'll rip it in half because I'm feeling greedy. The more money you send, the longer it stays. Yes, that's right. The $500 US donation is going to stay there the whole time. Durka's just laughing. Guys, because it's a fine poster, I've had that there for years. I don't want to rip it up. Should the MacBook Air get a replacement? Not an update, but a new product that fills the same category of budget but powerful. The thing, of course I would like that for happen. I'd love everything Apple makes to be cheaper, but Apple doesn't really have any success in the market of making things more affordable. That's never statistically done well for them. Every time they've attempted making something cheaper, it never really sells as well because they have to make it not as good as the more expensive version. So that's why they don't focus on that much. That's why they make these things cost so much money. That's why they're making the iPhone cost that much money. They know people will buy it. Original fans, remember the Green Music Channel? We don't talk about that. We're not talking about that. No music channel discussions, please. Someone donate $50. Oh, I'll do it. I'll tear it up. Drew, I just got a first generation 12.9-inch iPad Pro with Apple Pencil and Smart Keyboard, and that's actually the best thing ever. Although I've only used my 11-inch MacBook Air once since I got the iPad. Yeah, see? It's a great laptop replacement. Who has $500 to give away? Someone who works in the oil refinery business. He's a very rich person. And he's very generous, so I'm very grateful for Durka Durka. Thank you for your donation. You like that Minecraft poster? It was probably $10. Anthony Unsweeney donated $50. It says, please keep the poster. Please keep the poster. I really appreciate your channel. Keep you the good work. Okay, well, because he specifically asked to not donate the post, to not tear up the poster, I won't, because he's the one donating. So there you go. I won't rip it up. And thank you for your donation. I really appreciate that. This is crazy, guys. I don't think I've ever had this much donated in a single live stream. This is crazy. This is like as big as those PewDiePie live streams. Because I've been watching some of those too, where he plays Battlegrounds Unknown. He gets donations like crazy. That's sponsor only mode. It's insane. Yeah, PewDiePie. What do you think about Huawei phones? They're probably fine, but they run Android. So they're not part of a better ecosystem. The Huawei watch was pretty cool. If I had to have a Android Wear watch, I'd probably have the Huawei watch. It was nice. Major X Altercation says, make a video on idea companies stole from Apple. Well, I could, and I kind of have. I've made that video called Who Copied Who, and that's still getting views today, even though it's very old. But typically the comments I get on those are not happy ones, and it's not people saying good point. It's usually saying, well, here's all the things Apple copied from them, and the iPhone wasn't the first smartphone. Apple actually copied this company to compensate, and the Touch Bar is not original, the iPad's not original, the Apple Watch is not original. So usually when I go on a big tangent and say everything that people have copied from Apple, it doesn't end well. It doesn't end with people going, oh, that's thought-provoking. It's usually just like people arguing about Nazis. You know, it's endless. It's only a matter of time in every comment section that the Nazis are brought up. It just happens. So it's probably not gonna happen, but I can list you a few. I think the ideas people steal from Apple is not hardware. It's not software. It's the feel of a product. You know, Android copied the idea that a phone can be a standalone computer, that we all have a third-party app store with, where anyone can make more software and install it and use it with a touch interface. I think that had been done before, but Apple created the idea that that should be easy to use and simple and basic for everyone. Everyone should use that, and the idea that you can't display too much information on the screen. And I think ever since then, all the other companies have been competing with Apple and in certain ways exceeding them with that. YouTubers only get $1 to $2 per 1,000 views. Yes, I do not make a crazy ton. Today I've obviously made a lot because you guys are being so generous, but usually I don't make a ton of money on my videos. But this is my full-time job because a lot of my time is spent on the Tailosive Talks channel and the main channel, and I'm not even getting into the movie reviews channel yet, but I want to. Please subscribe to all of those, but I'm also trying to make a tech video a day for all of you, and that's been tricky. So, should Apple compete with Snapchat and Facebook? No. I've heard Snapchat might actually consider a buyout. Even though they said no in the past, their stocks have not been doing as well. The spectacles were a big flop. They spent a lot of money on them and didn't make anything on them. Tailosive Tech is the best of your channels. Well, yeah, it gets the most of my attention. I understand that, but it's because I make the most money on the tech channel. It has to be the best channel. But at the same time, I'm trying to raise up the other channels so that people can realize I have much more to say than just technology. I have a lot more thoughts than just what the iPhone should look like. You know, I think about originality. I think about the future of America. Guys should watch Hello World. Obi says, why do you always talk crap about MKBHD? I don't talk crap about him. I say things he does. Keep that in mind. I point out things that he does that is typically not his best things. But keep in mind, I watch every single one of his videos. I'm subscribed to him. I watch his channel. It's not like I'm a hater on, oh, I hate MKBHD. All I've done in my videos is said things that he's done, which is pointing out things that he would probably embrace. Like when Red unveiled their smartphone camera, whatever it is, people were like, I said they probably made it because they knew MKBHD would buy 3 of them, which he did. That's not talking crap about him. That's just explaining that they made that because they knew someone like him would buy that and talk about how cool it is. And they knew it would do well in marketing. And I was right. So I'm not saying he's a bad YouTuber. I'm just saying I disagree with him on most subjects. He's very biased towards Android and pretty against Apple. And I personally think he can be a bit ungrateful because Apple watches his videos. We know this. They asked him to interview them at the keynote. He got to interview Craig Federighi. So obviously, I'm jealous of that. I wish I could do that, but I'm so small they're never going to see me. But it felt like they watched his Dear Apple video because he was like, Matt Black, all the things, keep treating the Pro market. So they're making a new Mac Pro, and they're making the iMac Pro. And, you know, they made it matte black, and they made it with all the best specs, the best features. It felt like they just watched his video and answered him, and then he responded with, this is a trap. Like, don't buy the iMac Pro. It's like, they made this for you. And then, like, then he bought an iPhone 8 mock-up that he reviewed recently, but he got the ugly one with white bezels, which I don't think that'll happen. Yes, I'm biased too. I'm not saying I'm not biased. I'm saying we are biased against different things. And because of that, we disagree on subjects, which is why I would love to collaborate with him. I love debating people. I love hearing the opposite point of view. I want to, you know, get in a live stream with him or get in a FaceTime call or Google Hangout, whatever it takes, and just talk about why I think he's wrong and he can talk about why he thinks I'm wrong. I love debating people because then the rest of the market gets to find out who has the better points, who has the better credibility, who has the best evidence. Just because you disagree with someone doesn't mean you have to hate them. I definitely don't hate them. I love that there's big channels out there that don't talk about anything but Apple. I like that there's people who disagree. I'd like to meet him and discuss that. Anyway, we got other donations. Roberick says, just a shout out to Durka Durka. You're awesome. Your support this channel is crazy, which benefits all of us. You're right. All of the money you guys are donating is not going in my pocket. It is going directly to the iMac Pro, to the iPhone 8, to the Apple Watch Series 3, the HomePod. And hopefully, if these donations keep up and the channel continues to succeed, I'll be able to afford things like the Galaxy Note 8, and I can review that. And the Pixel 2, which I can't say without laughing. Hopefully, I'll be able to afford those and review them. And then Anthony Insuini donated $10 total, says, Drew, I have an extra pair of Beats X headphones. Would you like them? Actually, Anthony, yeah. If you want me to review them, sure. For those who don't know, I'll write it in the chat here. Anyone, if you want me to review something, you can send it to me. I have a P.O. box that anyone can mail anything to. I'll write in the chat here. If you want to send me anything, here's the address. This is not where I live. It's a P.O. box. P.O. Box 5430, Oroville, California, 95966. Anything you want me to review, including the Beats X, which would be cool to review because I do not have a pair and I don't have like Beats headphones at all. So if you want me to review them, that's where you should send them. Just write that address down. I check it weekly. We have a whole show where I unbox fan mail, just even letters and products from businesses that people mail me over on Tailosive Talks. It's just called Tailosive Unbox. Anything you want to send me, that's the address. It's open knowledge. California is the worst state. Well, I was born here. I didn't choose to live here. Would you want to review a Google Pixel 2? Not a Google Pixel, but maybe the Pixel 2. Just because it'd be funny. Not because I think it's a good phone, just because I think it would make me laugh reviewing it. I had a lot of fun with the review of the last Google Pixel. Because it was so bad, there was so much to make fun of, I enjoyed it. Yes, California is very expensive, yes. Keep in mind, guys, you're donating all this. I still have to deal with taxes. I still get taxed. So that and California is not friendly to taxations. Idea, live Saturday short on the main channel. What would that even be? Would that be like a theater, like we perform a skit live? One idea I had, but I don't know how to do, maybe if someone knows how to do this, they should tag me on Twitter. Like, you know how there's illegal live streams of SpongeBob? You know how they, like, play SpongeBob, like, 24/7, they're just one episode after the other? One idea I had is that Oh, like SNL. I got you. That would be difficult. We're terrible at stage acting. We can't memorize lines that are 1 second long. But if we did all of our Saturday shorts like in an ongoing live stream, and they would just play one after the other, and you could just binge watch all the comedy sketches on that channel live, and it still had a chat, and people could donate and say, I don't know, this is funny, and people could just tune in like it's an actual TV network. I don't know how to do that, but I thought that'd be cool. Taxation is theft. Well, you know, the government does need it for certain things, but sometimes I think they get too greedy. But you know, there's a perfect balance. You can't have no taxes. You can't have too much. You gotta find the right place. That's too political. In your last video, you seemed kind of rude towards those about their hopes for the Apple Watch. I understand that some might be unreasonable, but you very rudely dismissed their ideas. Yeah, I did. I was rude because it's my channel. I can do what I want. That was rude, but I'm just saying I'm right. I'm saying this is why you can't have a round smartwatch, why that's a bad idea. And people are usually rude in response. So, you know, YouTube's a harsh place. You gotta be tough. Yes, that is my P.O. box. Well, you guys are asking how much you should how do I donate, but to answer your question, you just gotta use a browser, use Safari on your phone or a desktop. But we've been donated far too much today already. We made way too much money already today. We've already hit all our goals. We're going to dump all this water on me. I got towels on the floor and everything. So I don't know why you'd like to donate, other than just me reading your comment. You should be the CEO of Apple? Maybe. I'd rather just make your own, I'd rather make my own, like, Apple Music original series, because I have a lot of scripts and TV show ideas, but that's not there yet. What's your favorite film series? If we're talking film, probably the Dark Knight trilogy. If we're talking TV, probably The Office or Parks and Rec. It works on the YouTube app if you have Android. I don't think it works on YouTube mobile if you have iOS, because Apple doesn't want third-party apps to have a variable amount of in-app purchases. That's why you can't super chat on iOS YouTube app, but you can super chat on iOS if you're using Safari. I have done it. Yeah, Batman said, did someone say the Dark Knight trilogy? Yes, Batman, that means you. I love Parks and Rec too. God, the chat is so fast. We're coming up on the end here, guys. I got to wrap it up in 10 minutes. And at the end of the 10 minutes, I'm going to dunk all this on my head. So that is officially going to happen. You should make a video test driving a Tesla. Again, if I had one, I would. I don't know how comfortable I would be with this, but I've driven by a house in Oroville that owns a Tesla. But I'm nervous that I could just walk up to their door and say, hey, could I drive your car? Like, that seems so... I would hate it if someone did that to me. If someone just showed up on my door and said, hey, I want to drive your car for reviewing purposes. That sounds so creepy. So that's why I'm nervous about, like, just going up to this person's house and asking if I can try their car. What you have for lunch? Nothing. I have not had breakfast or lunch yet. I'm very hungry. Ask them for a test drive? I know I could ask them, and they might say yes, but I don't know these people. It's just, it's a house I've driven by, and I've seen a Tesla in the driveway. It'd be very awkward. Send them a letter with your YouTube link? Well, keep in mind, I have seen them, like, outside their house. This sounds so creepy. I drive by their house to go to my friend's house, okay? So I drive by this house very often. And I have seen them outside, and they seem like older people, like in their 60s and 70s, so... And usually I have a very hard time explaining to people how I make money, like why I'm a YouTuber. Durka says, I messaged you on Facebook. Okay. Please don't read it to the whole chat. I'll check it out later. I'm not going to read it to everyone. But I'll check it out on Facebook. But it'd be awkward just for a stranger to come up to these people's house and say, can I drive your car? Like, I'm nervous about that. Just bake them some cookies. It's a lot easier for you. You wouldn't have to go up and say hi. I guess some of you would probably do it, no problem. But my goal is to make as good a content as I can without disturbing others, and I feel like that would be crossing the line. They're not gonna let me drive their car without them in it. So if I did test drive the Tesla, they would have to be with me. That could be awkward. And I would have to take cameras in there with me. It'd be a big, complicated thing. Jake Paul or Logan Paul? I don't... I've been luckily out of the Paul drama for the most part. I don't watch them and I don't follow that, but recently, yesterday, I accidentally, I don't know how it happened, I just tapped on one of their videos and I started watching. I was like, oh, this is the Paul everyone's talking about, and I wanted to throw up. It was disgusting. Couldn't you hire one for a few hours? Maybe. I'm not a good driver either. I gotta find one. Try doing a collab with Everything Apple Pro. I have asked him. I have asked Everything Apple Pro to do a collab with me, but I don't think he'd like me very much. Thank you, Durka. We're very appreciative of how generous you are. I do not drive a 2007. I drive a Hyundai Sonata 2006. Thank you, Cole. Fantastic for your donation. Drew, sorry for all caps, but what do you think of limited Apple Watch functionality with Android? I've been asking forever. Sorry if I seemed rude. You don't seem rude. It's okay to be rude, guys. Keep that in mind too. We can be passionate about our opinions. That's totally fine. Limited Apple. I don't think Apple Watch should be compatible with Android because AirPods already are, and it doesn't work very well. I don't like it when Apple products that are obviously designed to be part of an Apple ecosystem work on Android because it's usually so laggy. Like, it's already broken. Like, you wouldn't have iMessage to begin with. You couldn't hook up your Google Play Music to your Apple Watch and stuff. So it doesn't work as well. I don't even think you should be able to pair Android Wear watches with your iPhone. I know you can, but you really shouldn't. I've done it. It's not a seamless experience. It defeats the purpose. People might unsub if you're rude. Well, it's been fine so far. I feel like I've been a jerk for most of my YouTube career, and it's only been going up. So if the Pauls can get millions of subscribers, I must look like a most polite person in the world. What's going on with Xander? We don't talk about Xander. There's backstage drama going on with Tailosive, and it's not going well. Is the least I can say. He's not a part of Tailosive anymore. It did not go well. What would you do if your girlfriend got a Pixel? I would question why she did it, because she's a very budget-friendly person, and the Pixel is not a budget-friendly phone. But if you're trying to get like one of those difficult questions, like if a relative of mine bought a Pixel, it's not like I hate the owner. Same thing with MKBHD. He likes the Pixel, but I don't hate him. I just hate that phone. If my girlfriend wanted a Google Pixel, I would let her buy it. We've had that talk several times. I'm like, also, she can do whatever she wants. It's not like she has to ask me permission to buy something. She's her own person. She has her own job. She makes her own money. I don't tell her what to spend her money on. But I wouldn't like hate her if she bought a Pixel. If she wanted it and she had the money for it and she bought it, I'd be fine with it. I'd question it. I'd be like, why do you like that phone so much? But we've sat down and had that talk. I was like, do you feel like you have to like Apple because of me? Like, do you feel like because you're dating the biggest Apple sheep on YouTube, you have to buy only Apple products? Like, if you want to buy cheaper devices that are run by Android, I won't hate you for it. But she legitimately watches my live streams. She's watching this, I'm sure, whether it's live or after the fact. She's working right now, but she'll watch this after it's live. And she just agrees with me. She's one of my fans that just says, your videos make sense. That's why I buy Apple products. But she has never bought a new Apple product. She's only bought them used. She's got refurbished iPhone 6. She got a MacBook Pro off of Craigslist. She's got my old Apple Watch that I gave her. Well, she kind of paid for it. Like, it was like an exchange of goods. We have our birthdays are like 1 week away. So for her birthday, I gave her my Apple Watch. And for my birthday, she paid for a plane ticket so that I could fly out to Florida to visit her. She's luckily home now. It's not long distance anymore. But either way, I wouldn't hate someone just because they bought the Google Pixel. I hate the Pixel, not the owner. Thank you for your donation, Morgan Sindoma as well. And Sean Burnt says, closing thoughts, when human cloning becomes a thing, how do you feel about Steve Jobs' reincarnation? We don't have his body, so don't think it would happen. What kind of question is that? closing thoughts. Cloning. Even if we figured out how to clone human beings effectively, it would be years before legally it would be allowed to happen. We probably could start experimenting with it now, but our governments wouldn't allow it. It would be, you'd be tried for crimes against humanity and stuff like that. It's so messy. That's such a different discussion entirely. We can clone animals, but they never last very long. I think we cloned a sheep in a lab, but it lasted like a week and then it just died. So we can't we can birth animals. We can make a makeshift womb, but I don't know. This is not related to tech. Yes, Art Stark, it is water time. Let's do it. We're going to put my laptop over here, so the chat's a little bit harder to read, but this is it. I'm going to back us up a little bit. Sorry, you're going to have to look at my knees. I got towels. Look at this, guys. I'm so freaking prepared. It's going to be all wet. Oh my god. I did not think... I thought we might get to $200. Definitely not over $500. My god. Okay, smaller. We're going to go big to small. Alright? This is so weird. This is so weird. Alright. First of all, I'm just going to splash it as hard as I can, okay? Just... God. Yeah, it's not all gone either. That was a lot, and that was the small one. Oh, it got all over my desk. Hope that doesn't rust anything. Alright. We got one. We got one. Oh, what does the donation say? I can see that. It says, love your channel. Keep up the good work. Okay. Thank you. I'm going to keep it up. This is much more full, by the way. I'm just going to make sure I'm not spilling on anything expensive. I think I'm okay. This chair is also about to break. See, my fly is up. Stop commenting about it. Oh, it gulped. My god. It feels kind of nice, actually. Oh, that's cold. Ah. My Apple Watch is waterproof, so I'm not worried about that. Okay. Just pour it. Look, it's got a whole puddle here. My pants. God, I hope no one's just clicking on this now. Oh, I know there is because there's like 416 people watching. Alright, big one. Okay. What does it say? Forgive me for my ridiculous question. Love your stuff. Thank you, Sean, for your donation. I can see the super chat, guys. I can't see the regular chat. It's too far away. Did you just pee yourself? No, I did not pee myself. Okay. Alright. Guys, look at this. This is so full. I'm gonna cause mold and stuff. Alright. You just clicked on this morning. Okay. Should I dunk my head in it first or... Nope, I'm not gonna think about it. Not gonna think about it. Dump. Yep, don't think. Drew, stop. Stop planning. Drew, stop. Just... Oh, God, that was a lot of water. Oh my goodness. I'm really glad I put towels down. Gosh. Wow. Well, thank you for watching today's live stream. I'm completely drenched. I'm gonna dry off now. Hope you enjoyed. Tomorrow you'll be getting a tech video. There will not be an edited tech video today. This is enough content for you guys. Thank you everyone for your monstrous donations. Thanks for breaking a record in terms of how much donations we've ever had before. Thank you so much for all of that. Thanks for watching. This is your Apple Sheep here, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.